Hi, part 2 of the virtual demo on how to write FYP report using Microsoft Word Template.dotx is to start on the hands-on and how to use the template.dotx. So, and also to understand what is a template, the style within the template. So we're going to go through together on how to do that. So first, let's have a look on the guideline itself. Okay, so as you download, if you download from the website, you're going to get this handbook FYP updated September 2019, updated on September 2019. So this is the latest handbook. So if you click the handbook, it will contains all the aspect of FYP 2, what to do, procedures, and at the end of the books, if you click that. Okay, so this will be the guidelines for writing final project. So in this guideline, you will find all sort of font size, what you need to have for the front cover, and also where you can download the templates of DOTX, Microsoft Word Template.dotx. So it can be downloaded here. You have a front cover, what need to appear in the front cover, the top margin will be the size of right margin, left margins, all everything has been specified. And this is the spine of the report, title page, what you need to have in the title page, everything has been specified, been spelled out in this guideline, right? So based on this guideline, look at that, the size of the section heading, chapter heading, we specify all the, is it a font size, and so for the line spacing and everything. So therefore, based on this guideline, the FKE has developed a template so that you can easily use the template without changing, without every time you want to make a section heading, you have to change the font size all the time. So the style is also there in the template, and all are actually based on these reference guidelines. Yeah, this guideline. So therefore, I think I'm going to show you what is this. I'm going to switch off this guideline. Okay, so let's have a look at the template itself. Okay, before you can see this DOTX, I think by default you don't see that DOTX and PDF file because the extension is hidden by default. So you can trigger, you can activate that to see the file, the extension of each files that you have. You must go to view. If you have a Windows 10, you go to view, and then you just simply tick this file name extensions, right? So probably you may start with this file name extension is hidden, so you don't see any file extension for your file beside your file names. Now when you tick that, then you'll be able to see the PDF file. And one more things that you need to do is, can you go to control panel, click start, and then go to the control panels and look for, some of you may have not get into this menu, but again, go to control panel and look for folder option. Just write folder options, and you may find this file explorer options, right? So click that file explorer options, then you'll be able to see these file explorer options, right? File explorations. I want you to go to view and then select, do not tick this hide extension, do not tick. So you want to display the extension for non-file types, and please tick this display the full path in the title bar. Make sure that you tick this button, display the full path in title bar. Click that. Okay, and then you click apply. So remember, tick this display full path title bar, but untick, or you don't have to tick hide extension for non-file tabs. Then you go to apply and then click OK. So now go back to your file share. Then you can see this PDF.dotx. Right, so let's have a look. As I mentioned in the previous presentation, this is the .dotx file. It comes with the .dotx. You can have a template being given by one example is IEEE. IEEE also provide a template for its conference or proceedings papers, and that actually come with a .docx, right? But the actual template must have this .dotx extension. So as I mentioned earlier, you can have two ways to activate or to open your .dotx files. You can either double click. So if you double click the file .dotx, it will open as a new document, but the template is based on this FKE template thesis version 1a.dotx. But if you right click, yeah, I'm going to right click it. So I hope everybody doing this. You right click and then you click open. You select open button. Now you are actually open the original template file. Why? Because first you need to check whether there is a problem of compatibility mode. I did mention in the slide before, we have this compatibility mode, and you need to convert that so that it will upgrade your template to suit your current version of words. Right? So in my case, I don't have this compatible, but normally it will appear here, somewhere here. It will appear somewhere there with a compatibility mode, compatibility warning beside the template names. So therefore, if you do have that problems, what you need to do is just after you open, right click and open, you go to file, then straight away you're going to see the convert compatibility somewhere exists here. Instead of protect document, you will see convert compatibility, compatible. All right, do that. Just click that button and then the whole file will be changed, will be converted into the current version. Okay, after you do that conversion, then you just simply save the file, and then now your template, the original template is already upgraded into the or converted into to suit your current version of your Word. Right. Okay, next is this is where the style is, as I mentioned. This is the style that you need to work at, and it comes with the template.dotx here. Right, so if you still can remember the Z layout, this style panes will be on the right hand side. So if you want to do that, just simply click this button. There is a small arrow button here. Click that. Then you will see the style panes appear as this. And if you want to dock it, if you want to permanently place the style pane next to your document here, you just double click somewhere here. Just double click the styles bar, title bar here, double click, it will dock. It will permanently position your styles beside your style pane, beside your document. And then on the left hand side, you're going to have this navigation pane. So this is a Z layout, you're going to see. So this is the original template.dotx. So it will come with, of course, the content of the template. So some of the sample that may come together with the template. And with it, there is we call this as the styles. So every line, if you click, if I can show you, if I click this title of Finalizing Project Report, it is assigned with the front cover. If I move on, very much the same front cover, front cover. But when I click to this, it's switched to partial fulfillment. So this is style for that partial fulfillment. And we click here, it goes to author's declaration. Click here, it is an abstract. Look at that, it's changing. So every line has its own styles. Okay, until you see this chapter 1, for example. If I go to chapter 1, where is it? So you can browse. It is assigned with chapter 1 heading 1. It is assigned with heading 1, and then you have research background. So you don't have to reformat your thesis to have the font size correct. You go to the guideline. So because it's already come with the style says, so it's already created for you, just for you to use it. Right, so now I'm just going to introduce you what this template is. So this is template, navigation, style pane, and then yes, initially by default you don't see the developer tab. By default you only see file, home, insert, design, layout, references, mailings, review, view, and this is the additional software that I put in, math type for the equation, very powerful equations. So I just installed the math type. So this is the only that you have. There's no developer tab at the beginning by default. So how to activate that developer tab is by using file. You go to file, then you go to options, select the customize ribbon, and then on the right hand menu here, look for developer tab. Okay, look for that. So it's unticked. By default it is unticked. So now can you simply tick that? Okay, and then click OK. Now you see this developer tab appear next to my if you don't have this math tab, it will appear just beside the view. So what this developer tab can do is that if you this is where you can see whether that file the template for that particular file. In this case, this is the original .dotx, right? So I'm going to leave it later. So this is developer. So you already activate the developer tab, and we have all this the original template. Do not save. Yes, okay, please do not save anything, do not change, and do not save this file, because you might accidentally change the style or anything else. So in this for this time around, you just simply open it, look at the waveform, unless you want to you just want to check for the compatibility. Right, so that is the template.dotx. Now can you switch can you close the template, do not save anything yet, right, and come back to the file again. Okay, so this is the template.dotx, the template deal. So now we're going to I'm going to share with you how to use the template. So first things that you need to do is just double click, right? So can we simply double click the templates, and this is the template, and it is actually open as a new document. Look at that, it's a document 1 instead of the name of the file. Now it is open as a document 1, and can you save as and put into that folder, the demo folder that I've just created. I put it in the desktop demo word. Now I'm going to save that as a thesis 1. Okay, thesis 1, and just simply save that, just to see that we have docx, and the file that you're opening it with a double click is a new document, and then you save it as a thesis.docx. So here again, activate this new style template, style panes. So the style panes on the right hand side here, and then you have a navigation pane on the left hand side. So this is, can we look at the template itself? Okay, so it opens as a new document and all the contents that come with the template. So you have chapter, all these preface pages, author's declaration, abstract, acknowledgement, table of contents, list of tables, and the rest. And we have a chapter 1 introduction, some subheading, and then you have chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and the rest, references, appendices. Okay, so come back with the first page. All right, so if you look at this, the first page, the title of the this is title of your final year project. So you just simply put in your final year report title, just put in there, and then you change to your name. And this is very much, you cannot delete this line. It is well protected by the template, so you cannot simply delete this. And then you have the next page, and then this is declaration page, whereby you have to choose, you can just simply choose it's electrical or electronics, right? So if I'm from the electrical, which is electrical, so you'll be there, electrical engineering. And this as well, you cannot delete that. Cannot delete this faculty of electrical engineering. Also, then you have the author's declaration. You can here you cannot again, it's a well protected. You cannot delete, but then you can change to your name, and then it's a Bachelor of Engineering. Again, you can select electrical electronics, and then you can change your faculty. If you can now, yes, it's supposed to be, you cannot change this faculty of engineering. It is always faculty of electrical engineering. And then title of the final year report, your student, you have to change this, and the rest, name of your supervisor project. And then you have the abstract, put in right in your abstract here, acknowledgement, and acknowledgement should be limited to 1 page, as well as the abstract, right? Abstract also limited to 1 page, do not go beyond 1 page. But abstract should consist of all the objective, the research methodology, the findings, the conclusions. It should be in there, written in concise way. It has to be 1 page, not more than 1 page, 1 paragraph. That is abstract. Okay, this is table of contents. Once you use this technique, you don't have to worry on writing or note down all the pages of this subheading and also chapter numbers. So you just simply right click and update the field. There is an update the field. So once you have done with the contents of your thesis, and finally after you submit your thesis, then just right click and then you update the field. So all new chapter heading and also new page numbers will appear in this table of contents, rather than you doing it manually, whereby you need to jot down somewhere the page number for each of the subheading. It will be tedious work. So now it is automatically done for you. And then you also have this list of tables. Again, you just simply right click and then update the field. So all your table numbering, table page, table caption will appear in the list of tables. And then list of figures. You have also a list of plates. Plates is actually for the image. Whenever you put an image, then it is known as a plate rather than a figure. Figure is just like a graph, the statistic figures, a pie chart, all the charts, that is a figure. But image is known as a plate. And then a list of symbols, abbreviations, nomenclature, and then comes to the chapter 1 introduction. So you have chapter 1, chapter 2. This is actually an example that come with the template. So we next module will be on how to format the thesis. But for now, I'm just going through what we have together with the template. So here you can see this is the content of the template, and on the right hand side here we have all the styles listed that ready to be used. Paragraph, caption, all are in this style pane. Okay, now let's move to a new document. Just close it. You save is already as a thesis.dotx. Now you close it. We're going to use this thesis again, this document again, but for now just close it and open a new document. Now I have a shortcut here. You simply click that. Can you open a new document? Right, so this is no new document, plain. As I think, I hope you still remember, when you open a new document, that document is always based on or refer to the normal.dotm. Okay, how to check that? You need to activate the developer tab. Okay, this is your developer tab. I think if you never used the developer tab before, it will be hidden. You will not see this developer tab together with others menu here. This math tab actually is the additional software that I put in to take care of my equations, because I cannot rely on the built-in equations editor by the words. It's not really good to use that insert equation that provided by the words. So I have to add a new add-on, they call it, a new math type, so to create an equation for me. So beside that, there will be a developer tab. So most of you will not see this developer. I think probably all of you doesn't have this developer tab because it's hidden. This is only for the programmer or the advanced user. So to activate this developer tab, what you need to do is you go to the file, okay, and then you go to options, look for customize ribbon, and then on the right menu here, look for the developer. So by default, you don't see that tick. You can check it, right? It is unticked. So this time around, just tick that to activate the developer tab, and then you click OK. Right? Once you do that, then you're going to see the developer tab beside all other menus here. Right. So what is the purpose of developer tab here? I did mention that all new documents will be based on the reference or will be based on the normal.dotm. So I can find that using this developer tab. So you click this developer tab, and there is a document template. So click that document template. Now you can see that it is normal. The template is based on the normal, and this is actually normal. Okay, you can see that this is based on normal. So if I click this attach, I can see further the details of this normal. So it is normal.dotm. If you can look at this, refer to that, there is normal.dotm. So this is the more advanced template compared to DOTX. With a DOTM, which means the the templates actually consists of macro, right? Okay, so that is how we're going to check whether which template that the current document is actually referred to. So again, this is a new document open from the words, so it will be based on this normal.dotm. So this normal.dotm comes with its pre-default or default styles with the heading 1, heading 2, normal spacing, and the rest. Right? Okay, so let's have a look at some of the setting that you need to do before we can use we can format the document. So you go to file and go to options, and then go to advanced, scroll down until you find this show field codes instead of their values. Right, this is very useful. So can you change that to always instead of when selected? Choose an always. Do not tick this. Okay, do not tick the show field codes instead of the values. If you accidentally tick this, you will get a complex coding within your text, right? So if it happens that you see this weird symbol inside your text, there's probably you will accidentally tick that button, tick that show field code. So we don't want to tick that. Just leave it as it is, untick. But you change this from when selected to always, and then you go further down. For the style area pane here, it is just change to any numbers. You can use the centimeters instead of inches. Go and change to centimeters, and then you define probably 2 centimeters if you like. So this is for the draft pane. I want to use the draft pane later on. Yeah, and then you go further down until you meet this print section. Until you see this print section, and look for this allow field containing track to be updated before printing. Tick that. Please tick this box. You will find why it is important to have that tick. Right? After you do that, then just simply save. Okay, right. So now you're ready to look at the what is styles and so on and so forth. Okay, so now you are ready to look into the styles and you try to format the thesis. Okay, so on the right hand side here, I think most probably you see this list of styles, right? You can activate the show preview to be able to see the actual appearance of your styles. For example, if this is a blue color, the heading one is a blue color, so you can see the heading one with a blue color and with a certain font types, right? So if you untick this, you're not going to see the actual appearance of the style, but only a list of files here. So it's recommended for you to click this show preview. Then you can see this normal, no spacing, heading 1, heading 2, and probably you have a different styles because you already mix up or you already save your style, the styles before, probably accidentally save, so you have new styles in your style panes here. So this is actually the default style that you come across that come along with the normal.datm. So again, the normal.datm is actually can be obtained here. You can look at the attach, and this is your normal.datm, and it is saved under Microsoft templates folder, right? So let's have a look. What is this style actually? So if I write anything here, introduction for example, and then I don't have to, normally what we're going to do is, if you want to change the color, the font size, you just highlight it, and then you go to this font type here, you choose whatever the font type you want, Arial for example, and then you change the size numbers, the font size, and then you probably want to bold it, and when you want to color it to red, so you can do anything with it. So that is actually what the basic user will do. Okay, so for advanced user, the simplest way to do is by using the style. So I'm going to clear. So how to clear the introduction with the font size here? You just simply highlight it, and then there is a button clear formatting. This is also the important button for formatting. Wherever before you can apply any styles, it is recommended that you clear the formatting. So you reset the formatting of this line, and then you apply whatever style that you want to apply to. So again, go to that and select the whole introduction, and then simply click this clear all formatting. click that, and then it reset to, look at that, it will go back to normal style. And again, similar to the template, the normal.dotm is a special template, and for the style panes, this normal style is also a special styles that is protected by the window. So whenever you clear the formatting, it will go back to this normal style. Okay, so let's say we want to apply the heading 1 to your introduction here. So click heading 1, and right away it will change the whole words here into Calibri light and with 16 font size together with a blue color. So it is exactly as what appears for the heading 1. And if you look at the left hand side on the navigation pane, the introductions appear in your navigation pane. Okay, so if I have another line, for example, introduction, and I'm going to do for example, basic or preliminary study, for example, I'm going to assign with the heading 2. So you can do that. Just click preliminary study, and now if you look at the left hand side here, the navigation pane, preliminary study appear on the second level. So you have a first level introduction, and this is according to heading 1. Preliminary study will appear as the heading number 2, therefore it's a level 2. And if I keep on using the heading 3, so it will appear in the level 3. So the heading 1 corresponds to the level of the heading that you apply here, right? So this is heading. So if I'm going to change, for example, this introduction, if you want to change the style, you don't have to do this kind of methods, which means you want to change the color here on using this button. But what you need to do is, if you want to change all the colors here, you just go to the style here, and then there's a drop button here, click that, and you have this modify, and then this is the menu, whatever you want to change with. So if you want to change it to red color, you can do that. And if you want to make it center, you want to make it bigger size, and also look at the style based on, okay, style based on normal. So if you select it as based on normal, so whenever you change the normal, for example, the font size and the font type, whenever you change this normal, the heading 1 also will be automatically changed, right, in terms of its color and also the font. Right? So you have to be careful when selecting the style based on, and normally I will put it as a no style, so it will actually, it is independent to other styles, so you can treat it independently, so that will be a lot easier for you. So style for following paragraph, this is when you hit the enter button, then the next line will be following whatever paragraph or whatever style that you set here. And in this you don't have the no style, so you probably want to use it as a normal. So each time you hit the enter button, then it will go to the normal style, right? So let's change to red. Let's have a look what do we have. And again, you see there is a, on the bottom here, there is automatically update and also new documents based on this template. What does it mean? It means that if I take this automatically update, it will update all throughout your documents, wherever all the line which have this heading 1 will be automatically updated with a new color, new setting of the style. right? So this is the purpose of using this automatically update, and normally we tick that, and in this there is another button that you must be careful. New documents, it is known as the new documents based on this template. Remember, this document, the fresh document that you open, this is actually based on the normal .dotm. So whenever, if you tick this, you will find out that the normal .dotm will also be changed, and there will be a new style, um, a new heading 1 style that will be saved together with the normal .dotm, and it depends on whether you want to tick this or only in this document. If you use only this document, it will not disturb the normal .dotm. It will only uh, deal with this document that you're working at. Okay, so let's say we have this, and just click OK. Now you can see that each time if I want to change this preliminary study to heading 1, I must clear all formatting first, and then I again select heading 1. So automatically it will change to the size, calibrate size with 18 and the red color, and it is also centered. So this is the purpose of using the heading 1, right? So let's say what about if I want to produce a new styles? So there is a button, 3 buttons on the bottom here. So if you click the first left hand most button, it is a new style. So let's have a look. Click new style. Okay, so give a name to the style. Probably you want to have a paragraph. You want to have a style for the paragraph, ph, right? And then style based on, and there is a style type. Okay, yeah, I usually use between paragraph and character. If you want to have this style to be applied to the whole paragraph, you select paragraph. But if you want to have a style for a specific word, for example, only a few words in the paragraph that has this unique style, which is different with other words, then you might use character. Right, so there are two different style type, and if you want to apply it for the whole paragraph, I'm going to show you what happens. So if you want to have a whole paragraph, then use a paragraph. Again, style based on, I'm usually no style, and then style for following paragraph, you can leave it as a paragraph, or you want to have a normal, right? And then I want to change my font size, font type to Arial, and change that to 12, for example, and that's it. And you have automatically update on new documents, so I'm going to have automatically update tick, and there is no tick for new documents. I don't want to disturb the normal .dotm. So let's have a look. Click OK. So now to demonstrate what has happened, so look at the right hand side of the style pane. There's a paragraph, the new style appear in the style pane here. So we have yet to use that. So let's say I want to produce a two paragraph with 3 sentences each. So I'm going to write random, RAND, and then open bracket, 2 paragraph with 3 sentences each. There you are. Right, so there will be 2 randomly generated paragraphs, and each paragraph will consist of 3 sentences. You don't have to worry on the does it make sense or not, the document, I mean the paragraph, the story makes sense or not. So you just simply generate a 2 paragraph with 3 sentences. So if I want to apply the first paragraph here with paragraph, so let's have a look. Just simply click that, and now there is a new font with a new size, everything. Okay, let's say I'm going to have another new paragraph, new style for the paragraph number 2. So I'm going to create another paragraph style and name it as a paragraph 2. 2. I'm going to base on this paragraph that you have just created. That I've just created just now. Style based on paragraph 1, and the first paragraph that we did, and then style for following paragraph will be normal. And now I'm going to leave it as a Arial 12, and the rest, and then automatically update. And let's have a look at what is hidden behind this format button. So just click format button, then I have more options here. If you want to have an indent or hanging, then you have to go to paragraph. So then you can specify whether you want to have it as a justified, fully justified, indentation, special. Remember, we have first line is only the first line of your paragraph. Hanging is the lines which other than the first line. So if I want to have the first line to be tagged by 1.27, I can do that, and straight away I can see at the bottom here the preview of what I did just now. So the first line is indented by 1.27. If I want to have a space if I want to have a space after the paragraph, then I can select this, and look at that, it's already changed it. So after that line there will be a 12 point line, extra line, before you see the other paragraph. So I'm going to leave it as 12. Let's just click on OK. And then this is paragraph 2. This paragraph based on paragraph. So if I change the paragraph 1 just now, the whole paragraph 2 also will be changed. Let's have a look. Just click OK. I am going to reset that again. Reset this. And I'm going to apply the first paragraph as paragraph. And where is paragraph 2? Sorry, something has happened. Have to do it again. Paragraph 2. You can write para 2 is based on paragraph. Style for everything is a normal, and that's it. I just change the paragraph to first line 1.7. Automatically update. Right, so this is paragraph 2. Okay, so let's change this back to paragraph 1. So I'm going to clear. Remember, always clear all formatting before you apply the new style. So let's go back to the paragraph 1. I'm going to assign paragraph number 2 with para 2. So just put your cursor somewhere, anywhere in this paragraph, and then just hit this paragraph button. Look at that. So we know that the paragraph 2 has an indent. So therefore, if you look carefully, it appears here as an indent. Right, and paragraph here is not indented, so that's why it just go left most of the normal style panes here, and then for the paragraph number 2 there is a tab. If you can have a look, there is a tab between that and that, so that means it appears exactly as what it appears in the paragraph. Right, so now we know that this paragraph 2 is based on paragraph 1. Let's have a look. If I change paragraph 1, change the color of the paragraph 1. Let's say this is now red color, and if I click OK, look at that. So because paragraph number 2 follow the paragraph number 1, then whatever size or font or color of the first paragraph change, the paragraph number 2 also will be changed. So this is very much what is the style is all about. Alright, so again, normal document, this is based on normal.dotm. Right, so what about if I want to attach the FYP document into this fresh new document. Okay, so it start with the normal.utm, but now we want to attach, we want to use the style that come with the template that's created, the FYP template. So how to attach, to update, to attach that styles into your style pane here? Again, it is through the developer tab. So you go to developer tab, go to document template, and then you hit this attach, and then look for that template.dotm. I put it under my desktop, and then I put it on a demo Word, so I can find this .dotx file here. So simply click it, click open, and make sure that you have this also tick. Right, don't forget to tick this automatically update document style. Just simply click that and then attach. Okay, so now look at that, look at your style pane here. Now it has been updated, and we can see that there is a new style appear, integrate into your style page here. And when you do that, now your document template is already changed to template fke template.dotx. It's no longer normal.dotm. Alright, so this is one way to to manage your files, to manage your thesis. You can have a blank document open, and then you attach the FYP template.dotx into your fresh document here, and then you start to format, start to write your thesis from the scratch. Okay, from scratch, or you probably want to copy paste all your thesis here into here, and then you want to start to format one line by line. This also can be done, right? The other things on the style panes, you have to make sure that when you attach the template, have a look at chapter 1 heading 1, right? You must have beside the heading 1 here, you must have the word chapter 1 appear beside heading 1. That will ensure, that will show you that you already actually have the correct style pane inside your style pane. If not, in this case, I don't see this chapter 1 beside heading 1, isn't it? So what I need to do is, we have to go back to document template. I have to reset or reattach the normal.dotm. So you just simply delete the link, the location of the file just now, template.dotx. Just simply delete it and just write normal. You don't have to go to attach and find the normal.dotm. It is enough for you to write normal, and then you click OK. By doing that, it will actually reset your styles, and then you have to reattach the template FYP template again. Let's have a look. Attach. So I'm going to find, there is under demo Word here. Just click that and then click open. Then OK. So now beside my heading 1, I see this chapter 1 appear beside the heading 1. So that if I do have this, then this is the actual or the correct style that been attached, or the template that come with a style attached to your fresh document here, right? Then you can start to use your blank document here, and you start to write your thesis, chapter 1, introduction, and the rest. We're not going to do that method in this briefing. I just want to use to show you how to use the template.dotx, rather than you attach and then you combine all the files. Now I'm just straight away go to the how to use the template.dotx, right? To use the template.dotx without attaching the template. Okay, so can I just simply close this, don't save, right? Just don't save. Now look back at your template thesis.docx. Remember, we have already saved the thesis.docx now, and how to get this thesis.docx is by double click. If you want to have that sort of file, you just double click the template, then you have this new document, but that document actually based on template FKE templates. So how to check that? Go to developer, click this document template, then you can see that it's no longer normal.dotm, but now it is based on template v1a.dotx, the FYP thesis template. Alright, okay, so again, let's have a look. On the right hand side here, we have the style panes, and you must have this copyright 2017 MZJ Formatting Method appear on top of the list. If not, you have to go to manage styles, right? Go to manage styles, and then you go to the recommend button, recommend bar here, and then you have to change to as recommended, and then go to restrict, again as recommended, then you click OK. Now you might get this you're going to get this copyright 2017 on top of the list. You must, so you have a proper arrangement of all the list style list. Look at this, chapter 1 heading 1. Okay, so this is correct, and the rest of the style. Okay, so let's say I'm going to change save that again. Desktop, where is it? Desktop, demo word. I'm going to save that. This is one DOCX again. Save, replace as in the file. Okay, so now we have already saved the thesis.docx. So for this demo, I'm going to show you how to fully utilize the template, and we open it as a double click, and then now we have a thesis.docx ready in front of us, and I'm going to show you how we can delete the contents of this thesis, and then we add or write our thesis instead of the one that comes with the template. Okay, so here we're going to deal with the front pages, a few front pages of the front matters after we complete the whole chapter, after you complete the whole content, and then we come back to these pages. Right, so let's forget about this. This is known as a preface matters. So you have author's declaration. If I click that, author's declaration will go directly to the author's declaration. If I click abstract, so this become your navigation, and is known as the navigation because you can easily go through wherever you want just by a single clicking. By single click, then you can go to any section that you want. Instead of we click and then you drag, along the way to get into that particular pages. So you just simply click this table of contents, then it will go directly into the table of contents. So for now, we're going to leave this list of tables, okay? And we're going to concentrate on how to remove whatever comes with the template, and then we're going to add. We're going to start to format. We're going to start to write our thesis here. Okay, so let's start with the one by one. To start writing, we must delete all these chapters first. So how to do that? You go to the navigation pane, point your cursor to the first chapter, and then you right click, and then make sure you select heading and content. Therefore it will select all chapter 1, and then you right click again and you click delete, just like that. Now the chapter 1 is gone. and chapter literature review will come up and become chapter 1. Okay, so now we do the same. Select heading and content, right click, delete, and then you continue that, delete, and finally you select again and then delete. And also all these references must be deleted, so you just delete that. By the way, it is worth to highlight to activate the paragraph marks. This is a paragraph mark. Okay, just click that and then you'll be able to see what is hidden behind your document here. So you can see that there is a section break, and this is when you hit the enter button, then you can see the paragraph marks appear here. So that means you have a enter once. Okay, we just want to clear everything here. So can you just simply here you just hit the clear all formatting if you like, because we want to not we don't want something to interfere us, especially the endnote Mendeley, right? So we just clear this line references, and then you can go to appendices. You do the same. You can simply delete all the appendices if you like. So only leave the appendices if you like. Okay, then you come back to the first paragraph. Okay, so now come back to the list of nomenclature. This is the final page after you go to the contents of your chapter, isn't it? So it is before the references and after list of nomenclature. So we need to add our first chapter. So how to do that? You must have insert the chapter in between two section break. Right? For example, now you only see one section break. How to see this section break is by activate the paragraph marks. Right? Make sure you activate that, then you can see this section break. Alright, so I want you to have two section break. So for example, apply another section break here. Go to layout, and then you go to breaks and click section break. Right, so now you have two section breaks now, list of nomenclature, and then you have another section break here. So in between, then we're going to start to write your chapter number 1. Okay, so for the first chapter, you don't have to write the chapter 1. Okay, so you just write the introduction. So normally chapter 1 will be dedicated to introduction. So you just write introduction, capital letter if you like. Okay, introduction, and then put your cursor behind the introduction, before the introduction, and then now you start to locate where is your chapter 1 heading 1 here. So I'm going to apply this heading to the introduction. Let's have a look. So you just click that. Now you have this chapter 1 appear automatically beside the introduction. So now we know that chapter 1 is controlled by the words. Next line that you apply heading 1, it will become chapter 2. For example, if I go right, and then let's clear, because the next remember we have a style after. So for style chapter 1 heading 1, the style after is heading 2. So each time I hit the enter button, then the line will follow with the style heading 2. So that's why you automatically you have 1.1. I'm going to clear this. Okay, clear that. Use the clear all formatting. Now look at that. It will clear the line and it will point to normal style. Look at that. It is always when you clear formatting, you will always point to normal style here. So we protect that. We put as a do not use or modify. Okay, so I just want to demonstrate what happens if you apply another heading 1 after heading after you create the chapter 1. For example, I'm going to put literature review. So if I apply this heading 1 for the literature review, then we'll get automatically chapter 2. So this chapter 1, chapter 2, the number of 1, 2 here is controlled by words. Okay, so if I delete this, for example, I want to clear the formatting, then automatically chapter 2 will change to chapter 1. Okay, I hope you're clear on that. Right, so now can we clear again all these two numbers, and I want to clear this literature view because we are preparing chapter 1 for introduction, right? So let's do it again. So you write introduction, and then you hit this chapter 1 style. Then you have the chapter 1 introduction. Okay, now it's a bit tricky. Here in the guideline, there must be 2 lines. Chapter 1 introduction should be on the next line. Okay, but for TOC, remember you have a TOC here. The chapter 1 should be in 1 line. Chapter 1 and introduction should appear as 1 line. Okay, so therefore, in this case, we cannot use a single enter because that will break between chapter 1 and introduction. And when you call table of contents, when you use table of contents and then you update the field, it will only extract, or it will take only chapter 1 without the introduction. So in order for you to maintain the chapter 1 together with introduction, we must use shift plus enter. So you need to hit shift plus enter instead of a single enter, right? So how to do that? You first give a space bar, so make sure that your cursor is in between E and I, and then just hit one button. Okay, just hit one button there, one space bar, and then you use shift plus enter. Now look at the symbol here. Instead of a P, the paragraph marks, it appear as your enter symbol. If you refer to your keyboard, the physical keyboard, the arrow here actually represent the enter on your physical keyboard. Okay, so when you use shift enter, then you will get this symbol, which means, of course, it appears as 2 lines before your eyes. Your eyes is a 2 line, but for the word, it define it as a 1 single line. So it will not break the word chapter 1 and introduction. Okay, so that is the use of shift enter. Okay, remember, use space bar first, and then you use the shift enter, and that will give a it will taken care. It will when you do a table of contents later on, you will get a chapter 1 introduction in 1 line. Okay, so next is we want to have a subheading. So you just simply click this 1.1 subheading, and you get a number straight away. So all these numbers are controlled by words, right? Chapter 1, 1.1, this is controlled by words. Okay, so the first probably the introduction. Right, introduction, enter, and straight away if you enter after that subheading, it will point to normal UITM paragraph 1 because it's already been defined that the style after the heading 1 will be the normal paragraph 1. Okay, so now we can start to write. Okay, so here for this demo, I'm going to use the random super function, function. So just write RAND. Can we do it together, everybody? Right, so you have random 2 3. So I'm going to produce 2 sentences with 2 paragraphs with 3 sentences each. So hit the enter button. Now you get this random paragraph being generated. Okay, And next is to have 1.2. Don't worry, so you just simply, okay, each time you want to apply a style, you make sure that you clear all formatting, and then you apply again, heading number 2. Then I'm going to go for background studies, if you like. Okay, enter again, and then random. Now I'm going to have 4 by 3 sentences, 4 paragraph, 3 sentences. Click enter again. Okay, and then probably I want to have a 1.1.1 if you like, so just click 1.1.1, so it become 1.2.1. How easy it is. So everything has been controlled by the words. So here I'm going to write problem statement, okay, and another random 2 by 2 if you like, and I have this. Alright, okay, and finally I'm going to conclude the chapter. So the final page here, I'm going to use clear the formatting again, and then heading 1.3, and there will be summary of the chapter if you like, summary of the chapter, and it will be random 2 by 2, as simple as that. Okay, so now we complete chapter 1. Right, so in between here you don't have to worry, because the styles already assigned the paragraph 1, the templates already assigned the paragraph 1 here with the paragraph 1 style, and it follow the guideline. It is a Times New Roman with a 12 font size, and it is justified, and the first line only indented, the rest is not indented. So each beginning of the paragraph will start with the indentation. Okay, but if you look at between the last paragraph here to the next section, there are too close, isn't it? The line is too close, so you might want to change that paragraph with paragraph 1a. So can you apply this? Then you will get that, no problem. So there is a gap, or you can I'm going to click undo, or you can just hit enter button. There's no much difference between that, right? So you can either apply 1a or you can use enter, so it's a bit flexible, right? And then you just follow that. Okay, right, I'm going to here 1a again, and here I'm going to apply 1a and the rest. Okay, so now we complete with chapter 1. What about if I want to put in figures? Yeah, we're going to use insert caption and insert and cross-referencing. So somewhere in between 1.2 paragraph section 1.2 here, I'm going to put some figures, right? So let's look somewhere in between. To just give a 3, enter here, clear the formatting. Just use this, and together with that none, use that. So now I'm clearing all these 3 lines here. So I'm going to put image in between. So just put insert picture if you like. Okay, you can try with any image that you have. For example, I'm going to use this image, so that give me that image here. You can try any image, right? So I'm going to put this waveform. I hope you can select any image that you have, right? Okay, so once I have this image, if you refer to the guideline, all image, all figures need to be enclosed by a box. There must be a box to enclose. So you click that, you go to picture border, then give a black color, and if you want to make it the weight more thicker, so you can put as a 1 point. So now you have a box enclose the image. Then there is also a style for the location of your figure, so you can drag down and look for location for there you are, location figure plate picture center. Okay, so you click the image and then you just click this, you just apply this location figure plate and picture. Right, I want you to apply that, so therefore it will be centered. You cannot appreciate that if I can undo this and make it smaller. Let's say this is your figure. So if I click the image and then I apply again the location, then it will center your figures will be easy centered. We put center of the page. Okay, so now the caption of the figure. Right, so to make it automatically generated numbers, you need to use the references. Then there is an insert caption here, so we're going to use this insert caption without writing the numbers, without you jot down the numbers and write numbers by yourself. You let the words to figure out what number this figure should have. Okay, so that can be done through insert caption. So just click that insert caption, and for guideline, show again, it has to be figure 1.1. right, it has to be figure 1.1 instead of only one. This one is for the chapter and that one is for the figure numbers. Okay, so how to do that? By default, you're not going to have that. So you go to the first, you go to here to select either it's equation, figure, or table. So now I'm going to insert caption again. So it has to be figure, right? And then you click this numbering, and you must include chapter number. Tick that, and then use separator dot period instead of a dash. Then put it as a period, and then click OK. By the way, we come back to the numbering again. You must again, chapter start with style, so we must remember that that chapter number actually assigned with heading 1, so you must put it as a heading 1, leave it as a heading 1. So in the case if you use if you have create a new template where the chapter is under heading 2, so you have to change this to heading 2. It depends on your template. So for this template, the chapter number is in heading 1, so I have to assign with heading 1. Okay, right, so now we have figure 1.1. Just click OK. Now you can see that you have figure 1.1, and again remember there is a shading behind the number of 1.1, isn't it? So that means it is auto generated, it is controlled by the words, and behind that 1.1 is actually a coding. This is because you trigger or you activate the text field during our setting up our PC, our laptop for formatting. Okay, so now we want to name the waveforms, the figure 1.1. So I'm going, first you need to tap, just after figure 1.1, give a tap once, and then you name the waveform. For here I'm going to use waveforms, like, okay, just a waveforms, and then we need to apply a style for this caption. So can you see here there is a caption for figure, right? So we have a style of caption for figure, so we're going to apply that to this particular line. And before that, I think we have cleared, before you apply you need to clear the formatting of that line, so just give a clear, then you click this caption for figures. Now it is right at the center of the image. Okay, now I'm going to add more figure. So I'm going to repeat the same step, give a 3 lines, and then clear, highlight 3 lines, and then clear all formatting. Then just point your cursor into what in between the 2 lines there, and then I'm going to insert picture again, and I'm going to go to my folder just now. Now I have a few more figures, so I'm going to put figure 1 if you like. Then I have this figure, right, circuit. So I'm going to make it small so that we can see the whether it goes to the center of the page or not. So again, it has to be enclosed by a box. So I'm going to use a picture box here. Now it is already in the box, and then you need to apply the location plate. So location for plate, just click the figure and then select the location figure plate, so it will be centered there. Now we want to put in a new caption, so insert caption, figure 1.2, it will be figure 1.2. So you go to references, there is an insert caption here, right? So just click that insert caption. So once you already have figure 1.1, the words will generate figure 1.2 for you automatically. You don't have to worry on the sequence of the numbers. It will appear in the correct sequence, so you don't have to take note where is it, which after which numbers. So it's already there, figure 1.2. So it is auto generated numbers. So just click OK, and now you can see that it's figure 1.2. You can either activate or deactivate these paragraph marks. Since the paragraph marks will show me whether I have an extra lines, I have an extra space bar, so these paragraph marks will show me that symbol. Okay, so now we're going to do the caption. So I'm going to have a circuit. The caption for this is the circuit, so probably I need to first give a tab. I'm going to activate that and give a tab. Hit that tab button once, and then I'm going to put it circuit 1. And again, I need to apply the caption for figure. So look for the caption for figure. Alright, so that is caption for figure. So just simply click, select this caption for figure. Now it's already in the center. Okay, so once I have this figure 1.1, 1.2, every figure that you put in your thesis must be explained, right? Must be discussed, must be explained. So in your paragraph, you must have a reference to that particular figure 1.1 and 1.2. So for example, you want to have a discussion or some explanation on the waveform here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this somewhere in the paragraph, and then I'm going to say refer to. So now I'm going to refer to figure 1.1. So normally what we do is we're just going to write. We're going to write manually figure 1.1, isn't it? But if you deal with 1 or 2 figures, it should be okay. But now if you think about thesis, you have tens of figures, probably hundreds of figures to manage. So therefore, it is not worth to do it manually, and therefore you need to use whatever the advanced technique, which is using the insert cross reference. So once you have this as a figure insert figure caption, insert caption, then you're going to use that caption in the text, and we're going to refer as a cross reference. So you're going to cross reference that caption. And how to do that? So you have to delete this again back, and then you go to references, look for the same box with insert captions, and there is a small cross reference toolbar here. Right, so just click that cross reference. Now beside the cross-reference, beside the figure, we also have other items that can be that can be chosen. So you click that and select. You want to refer to figure, isn't it? So just put it as figure. Later on, I'm going to show you how to deal with table and also equation. So now I'm going to refer to figure 1.1. So I'm going to select figure, right? Then we move to the right hand side. Here we have what are you going to refer to, or what will be appear in that particular paragraph or lines. Is it the entire caption, which is you're going to write refer to figure 1.1 waveforms, or you just want to have a refer to figure 1.1? So normally we're going to say that we're going to refer to figure 1.1, isn't it? So it is better for you to choose the only label and number. And we have a few other options here, but for this figure 1.1, we just simply put only label and number. So there are lists of figures that you have used or you have inserted using the insert caption. So all figure that are inserted using the insert caption will appear here. Okay, so now I'm going to refer to figure 1.1. So just click that figure 1.1 and then put in insert. Look at that. Now you have this figure 1.1, and that figure 1.1 is referred to the figure 1.1 here. Okay, so therefore uh, again, you can see that behind this figure 1.1 there is a shading behind the figure 1.1. So that means it is actually consists of or contains coding behind it. It's not normal figure 1.1. I can show you. If you mistakenly select, okay, I'm going to go to file and go to options and go back to the advanced menu. I'm going to select the text field. Okay, if I mistakenly tick this, okay, tick that, let show field codes instead of their values, what I'm going to have is the weird strange coding. Instead of figure 1.1, it appears as refer to reference. I don't know what is it. uh, of course we are not going to appreciate it, but those programmers, those who are really good in words, expert in words, they will appreciate and they know what is this refer to. Okay, so if it happens that you see this strange codes appear in your text, that means you accidentally tick this button. Okay, you go back and come back to that, show field codes instead of the value, so it must be untick. Right, now you can see that figure 1.1 again. Right, so you have refer to figure 1.1, and on the bottom, on the next paragraph, I'm going to refer to figure 1.2. So you go to there, refer to, again, go to references, click this cross reference, and then yes, it's already in figure, so just choose figure 1.2, only label a number, then you just click insert. Okay, so once you do that, then you have this figure 1.2 appear in your text. So remember, once you have insert caption, you must also have this cross-reference. All figures in your thesis must be explained and described. Okay, right. So that is all about the figure captions. Now let's look at how if we insert a figure in between. So we're going to look at how does words take care of these problems. So normally what we're going to do is going to change this to, if I add one figures here, so that figure now becomes figure 1.2. So I must change manually. I'm going to write this as 1.3, and then in the text I'm going to also change that. This is only one paragraph. If I have a few paragraphs that refer to the same figure number, so I have to find all these paragraph that contains this figure 1.2, then I have to change manually to 1.3. But if you use this insert caption, insert cross-reference, let's have a look. Everything will be done automatically. Okay, so let's say we're going to insert a new image here. Go to insert, pictures, then I go to figure, any figure that will do. Okay, so that figure, I'm going to make it small so that I can see the effect of location style. So again, put a border, and then again give a space there, right? So click this again, location, figures, apply the style of locations, and then below the figure, now I'm going to insert caption. So now it becomes figure 1.3. So go to insert 1.2. So go insert caption. Look at that. Now it is changed to 1.2 because the location of the position of this figure is after figure 1.1. So therefore, it will generate figure 1.2, and now you have figure 1.2 here, isn't it? Remember, this should be changed to 1.3, isn't it? We're going to deal with that later on. Okay, so now we have figure 1.2. Let's look at the previous figure 1.2. Now it became figure 1.3. Automatically changed to 1.3, but that does not happen to the cross-reference. There is we need to have a update it, and there is a special way to update that. Okay, no worries. So come back to this figure 1.2, and then again tab. Then I'm going to use graph, for example. Yeah, the name of the figure is figure 1.2 graph, and remember we need to select the caption for figure styles. And now you have figure 1.2 and figure 1.3, but now let's say we have this figure 1.2, it must be changed to figure 1.3, isn't it? So how to do that? You go to that particular figure, right click, and there will be a button update field here. So if you click this, then it will automatically change to 1.3. But remember, okay, if you do that, if you do a single, you need to find each of the figure 1.2, the previous figure 1.2, and then you have to right click each of that cross reference, and you have to update, isn't it? Now look at that, it's already updated to 1.3. Okay, so can I undo that? Okay, I'm going to undo this. So this is to show that if you right click and update, it will change to 1.3 because that actually refer to the last image here, last circuit here, last figure there, 1.3. Okay, so I'm going to undo that so that it becomes 1.2 again. Okay, so there is another way to update if you have a multiple cross-reference to the same figure. For example, you have another probably in this section or probably in this chapter 2, okay, instead of chapter 1. Also, we also have chapter 2 that refer to figure 1.3, which is previously is 1.2. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to search everything and then right click everything? So the best way is, or the other method is, by using print button. This is a very special case, so you don't have to select, you don't have to worry on anywhere within your thesis to find the exact same figure 1.2 which need to be updated. You just simply go to file, right? Remember the step is go to file, and then you just hit this print button and make sure that you have this preview, because a few probably the earlier version of Microsoft Word, you need to hit the print preview button, then you can see this preview, isn't it? So you must see this preview. Now after you do that, you come back to the text. Now it changed to 1.3. Okay, so you don't have to worry if you have another paragraph, in another chapters, for example, that refer to the same figure 1.2 just now. So all will be updated by using this simple print button here. You just go to print, and automatically, if you see this preview, then it should be updated together when you put its print button. So now it become figure 1.3. Right, but you must make sure that when you go to file, you go to options, you must check this, you go to advanced, and you go to the print section, and make sure that this is tick. Allow fields containing track changes to be updated before printing. You must update this to take advantage of that, updating all the figure numbers as well as the tables, equation, and so on and so forth. Right? Okay. Now we go back to, okay, so now we are already done with the figure 1.3. So you don't have to worry if you have to add more figures. Okay, you don't have to jot down somewhere where is the figure 1.2, 1.3 that you need to change manually. So everything will be taken care by the words. Right, so now I'm going to show you how can you insert a table, a proper table. So let's go to 1.2 for another section here again. Let's clear this, right? Okay, just clear somewhere in 1.2 here. Have a clear line, and I'm going to insert a table, any table if you like. Okay, so for table, and for table, the caption of the table should appear on top of the tables. I'm going to do it again. So just give up space. Okay, so this is my table, and make sure that the figure is on top of the table, right? And again, so you want to insert table, so you go to references, insert caption. Now you select table. You start with table 1, so you have to go to numbering, select include chapter. So my chapter is actually assigned with heading 1, so leave it as heading 1, and I'm going to change that to period. Then I click OK. Now it has table 1.1. Just click OK. Alright, so where is it? Now you have this table 1.1. Again, there is a shading behind 1.1 to show that this is there are codes behind it. Right, so similar. Now, if you refer to the guideline, the captions for table 1.1 should appear on top of the table, and there must be 2 lines. So again, for list of table, when you call the list of table later on in the front page here, list of tables, it has to be 1 line, isn't it? You have table 1.1 and the name of the table, the caption of the table. So here we're going to apply the same shift enter, not enter but shift enter. So give a tab first, tab. Look at that, there is a arrow button here, two arrow symbols here, so that means you have already pressed the tab button once, and then you press shift enter, then you get this enter symbol here, and then you go to the next slide. So I'm going to have a table, whatever it is, data 1 example, right? So the caption of the table 1.1 is data 1. Now I'm going to apply the style for table. You just highlight both table 1.1. You must highlight this, click and highlight that, and then look for caption for table. So there's a few, you must select caption for tables here. There you are. This is for the table, caption for table. So select this, and now you have a nice table 1.1, data 1, very close with each other, and then your table. Okay, so you can do the same, table 1.1, You go to references, or insert the table first. Back to there. Another table here. On top of that, go to references, insert caption, table 1.2, and then give a tab, shift enter, data 2, and then select everything for the table, then apply a caption for table UITM. Then you have table 1.1, table 1.2. There are the quickest way to do that is also is you can also copy and paste. Right, let's have a look. I want to copy and paste. Let's say I want to copy table 1.1 here and put just after, in between the two tables there. So I'm going to select the whole table here, copy and paste. Okay, do you see what happens now? It copied the same table 1.1, and you have table 1.1 again and table 1.2, which means when you do copy and paste, the number is not automatically changed. Therefore, you must update. Right? So how to update? There are two ways. One is you right click here. Okay, right click right on top of the numbers here. So you can update that, or you can go to file, have a look. Go to file, go choose the print button. Just click that print button. You see this preview and come back to that. Now it's changed to 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Okay, right. So again, similar, if you want to refer to all these tables, just refer to, if I want to use table 1.2, then go to cross-reference. Now change to table, table, and then I can choose table 1.1, 1.2 by ways. Again, change that to only label and number, and you click insert. Now you have table 1.2 appear here. Right? So let's imagine if you have many tables, many figures. Now everything has been taken care by the print button, right? You don't have to worry to change, to add, to remove all the time. You just simply remove it, use a proper insert caption, use a proper cross-reference, and then when you want to update, you go to file and you go to print and make sure that your option is correct. The advanced options on the print section, you have to tick that update the field, and inshallah you get a everything will be taken care by words automatically. Okay, and next is how to insert a proper equation into your thesis. Okay, so I'll just give another space there. So remember, when you do equations, normally when you put in equations, a center, and then you have a number on the right hand side, isn't it? So sometimes the number of the equation is aligned with your equation, and sometimes the number accidentally put it on top of it. You cannot align between the numbering of the equation and your equation. So to be able for you to retain or to align the equation and your number, it is best to use the text box. So now I'm going to show you how to insert an equation. You go to text again and select 2 by 1, 2 column, 1 row table. Select that, and then you drag this right to the right hand side. Just give to until 13, 14, 13, right? And this is for your equation numbering, and this is for your equations. Okay, so for equations, I would recommend you to use, if you still have, don't use this equation editor, which is built in by the words. Do not use this because it is not going to produce a quality equation. Right? I think you have tried that before. You're not going to you cannot control the size of the fonts of the equations and everything. So I would recommend you, one is, can you check if you want to create an equation, you go to object, okay, go to object and then select object. Right, in the list here, object type, can you find Microsoft Equation Editor? If you can find that, choose that Microsoft Equation 3.0, if I'm not mistaken. Microsoft Equation 3.0 in the list. If you still have that, use that equation editor. If not, you have to install math type equation. I have a version 7. This is a demo version. But still, you can use that math type equation. Okay, this is very powerful. You can produce a very good equation. So download. This is additional add-on. So try to download MathType 7.0. I have this version. Probably you can have a later a newer version. Okay, so go and find MathType, download it and install in your Word computer or laptop. Okay, so if you have the Microsoft Equation 3.0, use it. If not, you have to use equation math type equation. So again, after you install the math type, you will see this extra additional what we call it, menu with a math type here, and then you can insert equation and so on and so forth. Right. So in this sample, you can try I'm just use the y equals to mx plus c. Later on you can try this math type. Okay, so I'm going to use y equals to mx plus c, the straight line equation. Okay, y equals to mx plus c. So this is my equation. There is a caption for the equation as well. So you go to the style pane here and look for equation. There you are. Location equation center. This is to send to put your equation in center of the page. Right, click anywhere here and then you choose location equation center, so you'll be right in the equation center of the text box here. And now you want to insert the equation number. So the best thing is, remember, if you want to put an equation, there must be a bracket, isn't it? So forget about that bracket first. Now we want to put the number, so it will be equation 1.1. So it's just a number 1.1. So therefore, again, go to references, insert caption, and then now I'm going to select equation. Remember, when you do that inside a box, you will have an extra menu here, which is position. I don't know why, but this is Word has decided to put this, which means you cannot. The first equation that you're going to put in will not be inside the table. Okay? It will either on top of the table or below the table. So I'm going to have equation 1 again. Before that, I need to put 1.1, isn't it? Go to numbering, include chapter, the same process as before. So I'm going to have equation 1.1, and remember, we don't want you to use this equation, isn't it? We just want the number 1.1. So you just simply tick this exclude label from caption. So when you click that, tick that, then you have only 1.1 appear. Don't worry about the bracket yet, but I'm going to come back this position. So if you select position, when you click and OK here, the equation will appear on top of the table. If you select below selected item, your equation will be put after the table, right? No worries, you just simply select any of that, above or below, and then you just click OK. So now it appears on top of the equation of the table. Instead of the first, we have put that cursor inside your table, isn't it? But then it will put in above the table. So don't worry, You just simply select that 1.1, use a cursor, select that properly, 1.1 there, and then you just simply cut, right click and cut, and come back into your text box, right click and paste. Keep source formatting, right? Keep source formatting and then click. So now you have 1.1 inside your table. Again, you must align to the right hand side, isn't it? You must be aligned to the right hand side. So to do that, there is a special equation numbering style for that. It's already there. Everything has been created for you. So there is actually to locate or to position your 1.1 here right to the right align there. Okay, so you just select, put that 1.1, then hit this button, then you get 1.1, which is right align, and then it is aligned with y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so what about the bracket? You just simply put it manually, the bracket inside that. So you have 1 y equals to mx plus c together with your numberings there. Okay, right. So what about if you want to have more numbering, more equations, more numbering of equations inside your thesis? You can do it again. You can repeat the same steps, which is insert text box, or drag this column into the right hand side, and then you add the equation, give a style of it, and then insert caption for the equation, and then you have to align using the equation number right and put a bracket. You can repeat that step, or you can simply just copy and paste, right? So I'm going to select this, the whole text box here, copy and paste again, right click and paste and keep source formatting. Now I have 1.1, 1.2. So what I'm going to do is just updating the equation. So I'm going to again right click and paste again. So I have 3 equations. This equation should be renumbered, and I have to update it using print button. So I'm going to go to print button, simply click that, come back, and now everything has changed to 1.1, 1.2 and 1.2, 1.3. So now yes, I have 1.2. So everything has been covered right from the chapter 1. Okay, just some recap revision what we have done before. We put in the chapter 1 and we use the shift enter for chapter 1 introduction. Remember, you don't have to write chapter 1. Chapter 1 is auto generated. You just write introduction and then you apply the heading 1 to get that chapter 1, and then introduction, and then the style for the paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and then we insert the figure, and then we have a cross reference. Okay, and then you use the print button to update all the figure numbers, and then you add numbers in between. Everything has been changed automatically, and then you have a table 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and you treat it the same manners. Okay, and for equation, all right, now you have this equation, and if you want to refer to that equations, you normally do for example, equation. When you start the sentence with equation, then you need to write equation, let's say 1.1. So you have to use insert cross reference. Go to cross reference, change that to equation. Now all equation appear here. So I'm going to refer to equation 1.1. Okay, uh, uh, it is a bit different to the figure and table, whereby for figure and table we choose the only label number, isn't it? But for equation, we want to take the whole caption, because remember we have these manual brackets that have been put in beside the 1.1. So we want to capture the whole 1.1 together with a bracket. So you need to select insert caption for entire caption for equation, right? then you click insert. Now you have, go back to the, so it become equation 1.1. Equation 1.1 and describe, for example, whatever it is, describes blah 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 blah, right? Now when your equation inside the sentence, in between the sentences, okay, so you don't have to write equation anymore. For example, substitute, want to substitute equation 1.2 to 1.3, so you don't have to write equation anymore. Substitute, then you just go to cross reference 1.2, select again 1.2, and then insert entire caption, then just put insert, substitute into equation 1.3, therefore go to insert cross reference, click insert caption, go to that, and there you are. Right? So you have substitute in equation 1.2 into 1.3. You don't have to write equation. You only write equation when you start the sentences with equation. Okay, just to show you, if I change this or if I add a new equation in between, right? For now you have 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.3, which is not automatically changed yet, and still we have a 1.1 through 1.2, 1.3. So just hit this, go to file, and then hit this print button, come back, everything will be changed. Look at that. The equation became 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and then in the text, now it became equation 1.1, substitute into 1.2 into 1.4. Is that it? So everything has been taken care by the words. Right, so look at the left hand side here. So now you already have chapter 1, introduction, all has been written here. And now I'm going to show you how to do the chapter 2. Right. So you go to the end of chapter, summary of the chapter here. Then again, you want to have another fresh chapter, chapter 2. So in between, again, I did mention earlier, you must have 2 section break before you can take you can put the chapter. So here, go to layout, break, use this section break. Now you have 2 section. Okay, so this is your first section here, and then you have another section break there. So I'm going to have chapter 2 here. Clear the button. So chapter 2, normally we're going to deal with literature review. Literature review. Alright, okay, and again, what's next is to assign the heading 1. So that, so you have chapter 2 automatically inserted. In between O and L, spacebar and shift enter. Remember, spacebar and shift enter. So you have literature review. Then now it becomes 2.1. Automatically it become 2.1. So to cut short, I'm going to copy and paste whatever I have here, just to simulate whatever we have. Okay, I'm going to copy. I use a shortcut key, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I'm going to clear formatting for that, and just simply Ctrl V. So now I have 2 chapters, just for the simulation. Again, this is not updated, isn't it? Look at that. It is still chapter 1. This should be changed to 2, isn't it? So, but if you refer to the section numbers, it's already changed to 2. Some of the numbers have been changed, updated. Some numbers must be updated. We must update it. Okay, for example, table 1.1 and the table numbering and so on and so forth. Okay, so how to do it? Again, go to file and hit this print button and come back. Now it changed to, look at that, everything changed to 2.1, 2.4, 2.1, look at that. Yeah? Everything has changed to 2. Look at the figure, not the cross-reference, only the figure numbers. Figure 2.2, then we have figure 2.1 on top of it. Is 2.1. But we still have figure 1.1 here. Why? Because the original code that I copy paste still refer to figure 1.1. Remember, there is a coding behind it. It's not referred to figure 2.1 here. That actually consists of coding that refers back to figure 1.1. So that's why it is maintained at figure 1.1. Okay, I hope you understand that. Unless you delete that and you put a new cross reference and now you refer to figure 2.1, then it becomes figure 2.1. And then if you start to change to update the things, still refer to that particular figure 2.1. But previously that figure 1.1 actually referred to the previous figure 1.1 and so on. And so that what happens to the rest of look at that, it still refer to the previous figure 1.3. This is not to follow the updated figure here. Okay, how you understand that? So that is very much figure chapter 1, chapter 2. Okay, so you can continue with chapter 3, research methodology, and then you have this simulation results, the results and discussion on chapter 3, chapter 4, and then you have finally conclusion on chapter 5. So I hope you can do that, right? And by the way, I hope you already know how to use the Mendeley. This is a very good citation managers. When you want to cite, it is not worth to use a manual citation. So you must have this Mendeley. So there will be, I hope you can learn yourself how to use the Mendeley. It's very powerful citation managers. Okay, so when you want to cite everything, you use the Mendeley here. Okay, so now we are towards the end of the demo. Okay, so we have chapter 1, chapter 2. Now I'm going to update the table of contents, or we come back to the first, let's say we have completed our thesis. Now we're going to produce the final thesis, the whole thesis updated. So you go back to the first paragraph, the first page. So you change that to whatever title of your thesis. Okay, let's see, title of my thesis, and then your name, as in IC, you can put as a Nawawi if I like. Okay, and then the faculty, you cannot change that. Come back to that later on, how to delete that. Okay, then you have this authors declaration. Okay, and this also needs to be changed to electrical. If I am from EE242, I put electrical engineering. Authors declaration, change everything. Abstract, write your abstract here, 1 page, do not exceed 1 page. And then acknowledgement, wherever you want to write here, thanks to your parents, thanks to supervisors. Again, limit to 1 page. And now come back to table of contents. Okay, so you right click, how to update. Now you have to right click. You cannot use this print button, it won't do. You need to right click and update the field. Okay, so now it's changed to author abstract. Look at the bottom here. Now it becomes chapter 1 introduction. It's no more the chapter that come with the template as before. All right, but when you, okay, can you take a few seconds? What is something strange here? look at chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 literature review. What is something very strange happens here? Yes, the numbering of the page. Isn't it? The page number should be Arabic 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of Roman. And normally for the preface section, we use a Roman, I, double I, the triple I, so on and so forth. But when it comes into the contents, the chapter, introduction, so the contents of the thesis, it must be with the Arabic numbers, the normal 1, 2, 3 numbers. So how to do that? Go to chapter 1, okay, go to insert, look for page numbers, and then go to format page number. Now you have to change that to number 1 to 3, and then it has to start from 1. Change that to 1. Okay. So now your question become your page number become 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you have to check. Remember, we insert the chapter in between section. Okay. So you must make sure that chapter 2 also follow the chapter number 1. So you go to straight to the end of chapter 1. Just click here to go quickly to the last page, summary of the chapter. Give a quick look, and the last page is number 4. Therefore, chapter 2 here should be number 5. So let's have a look. Chapter 2, does it have the same continuous number? No. You still have a Roman number. So I need to change the format again. Go to insert, go to page number, format page number, change that to 1, 2, 3. Now, instead of you use the numbers start at whatever 5 numbers that you do, you just refer to just now, you simply continue from previous section. Okay, so each time the section, the chapter 1 change, and it has many numbers to number of pages that you created, newly created, so you don't have to worry, because this section, chapter 2, will follow the numbers in the previous section. So you just tick continue from previous section, and please do that also for chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. You need to check that one by one. Once you do it in the beginning, then the rest will be taken care after this, so you don't have to worry. So you do it once, and then you don't have to worry for chapter 2, 3, and 4, the following chapter. Okay, and do that. Now become chapter 5, chapter 6, and the rest. And look at the last page as well. So your last page of chapter 2 is page with number 8, so references should be 9. To 9, yes, it is 9. So you are fine here. Then you come back to table of contents, right click and update the field. Now you can either choose update page numbers only, or you can update the whole entire table. So you can prefer, I think I would rather go to update entire table, so that probably section has been changed. So you just click OK. Now look at the page number. Now it becomes a proper Arabic number, showing all this. And normally you put the semicolon, the 2 dot here for chapter 1, chapter 2, so on and so forth. This should be put in manual, no problem. But once you update the field, entire table, that will be gone. Look at that. You have to do it manually again. No worries. It's only a few chapters that you need to do it manually, that you put a semicolon here. Is that it? Okay, chapter 1, chapter 2. If you don't, if you confident that nothing has changed, you just want to update the page number, so you just right click, update the field, and you just update page numbers. So if you do that, then this will not be removed. Okay, so only the page number will be removed, will be changed, right? So now you have a list, a table of contents has been changed. I go back to the list of tables, don't worry with that arrow mark, because this is for the previous content. So you just simply right click anywhere inside the shading here, so right click, update the field, there you are. So you have data 1, data 1, data 2, data 1, data 2, okay? And all the tables here is automatically updated. Go to list of figures, don't worry, right click, update the field, you have that as well. So everything has been done in the blink of the eyes, we call it the blink of the eyes. So list of plates, do you have the list of plates? No, you just simply delete that, no worries. List of symbols, do you have a list of symbols? Yes, leave it, or you can simply delete that if you don't want that. Go to list of abbreviations again, delete that if you don't have that. Nomenclature, do you have that? No, just delete that. So make sure that you have, just give it, check whether you have a correct page numbers here, how many blank that you have. Okay, I want to activate this paragraph marker so I can see where is the line, where's the last line. Okay, so this is a page break, so I can actually delete all these pages right before the chapter 1. Okay, up to that point, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so I've removed everything else, only leave the list of tables and list of figures. So I must come back to table of contents, right click and update the field, and there you are. Okay, list of tables, list of figures, and caption, so everything has been there, right? And for references, for example, if you use a Mendeley, you can auto generate the list of figures. Let me show you references. Okay, I can just insert bibliography, and all the list of papers that have been cited in the thesis will be listed here, automatically generated according to the number of sequence, these references. And there's also a style for the references. So you come back, you go down. Okay, so you go down, scroll down until you find this EndNote and Mendeley bibliography. So you select all the references, select all the references, and then you just hit this EndNote and Mendeley styles, and all will be aligned nicely for you, right? So that's very much what is a template and how to use the templates in the systematically way, right? So that you will control all your thesis, contents of your thesis, content of your paragraph, final year project report. So each time you want to make a correction, you don't have to worry on changing the numbers. Again and again, everything's being controlled by the words. So let's say if you want to change that into PDF, it is best for you to change the words into PDF before you send for printing, because you have to know that the printer at the shop probably different with you, the one that you have in your room, or the different setting. For example, the printer could have a A3 size or a letter size, right? So you have to make sure that you convert into PDF. And one more thing is, if the computer also have a different version of words, that will interfere with your words, your thesis, which save in words. So it's better for you to convert into PDF, and therefore you don't have to worry on whether the words whether the page has been expand, or you have another it will interfere with the contents of your thesis. If you convert that, everything will be fixed in that particular page. So right, so how to do that? You go to file. If now we want to convert everything into PDF, so you go to file and then export. There is a special button here, which is export. Okay, so you just click that export, create PDF XPS. Now before you click publish, why not you go to options, and then create bookmark using heading. Okay, so when you tick this button, create bookmarks using headings, it will retain the navigation pane, the thesis structure, uh, and you will see this thesis structure or navigation pane when you open the PDF file later on. The one that you have converted will also carry this structure of thesis navigation pane. Right, so therefore you can browse through your PDF. Similarly, what have you done to your words? You can simply go to the chapter 2, chapter 3 by just clicking on the by just choose the thesis structure on the navigation pane. So if you want to retain that, this is how you can do it. You create bookmark using headings and just click OK. Now we just publish that file, then you will have this in the PDF. So that is your PDF, right? This is your PDF, and if you go to view, and then you on the navigation panels, you choose bookmarks, then you will see this thesis structure or navigation pane also in the PDF. So that's why you can browse through abstract, go to knowledge, table of content straight away. And that also will allow you to go to introduction. Just click anywhere, chapter 1 introduction for example, then you go there. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, so you can go to list of figures, list of tables, chapter 1, and can expand that, so you retain everything in the PDF. Okay, so that is very much, but before that, one more thing, you can also check the margin of your PDF file here by using manual zoom. Okay, listen to this carefully. If you want to measure correctly what is the size or the margin for the top, left and right margin here, you can use the technique which is you zoom manually until it reach the same page or it will equals to the physical A4 size paper. You can zoom it. Probably you want to have 1 to 6, 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 7 for example, and you must have your A4 letter on your hand, and then you start to zoom until you have a correct size of your screen size here together with your A4 papers, and then take the ruler and then you measure your on screen. You measure with your ruler the size of the margin. Is it 2.5 cm? Is it 3 cm? So you can measure directly before you send to the printer. Yeah? So that is, I think, the last things that you need to do. Okay, so this is to check whether you have a correct sizes of your thesis. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope you can go again. Of course, the first time you listen to the video, you'll be a lot of trouble, but you must have a hands-on. I mean, you have to do it yourself. Uh, just a simple formatting first, a few paragraph, just play around what is the styles, and then after you after you familiar with the styles, with the insert caption, insert cross reference, then you can also Google, and you can also browse YouTube and look for MZJ FM formatting methods. There are lots of video from Dr. Zoli himself. And you can also add the Facebook. Look for MZJ Formatting Method from the Facebook, and there will be a page on formatting. You can ask any question, and you can also email me, message me if you have a problems with the formatting. Okay, so with that, I hope it will benefit you, so that you can write easily. You can concentrate on the contents of thesis rather than you want to change everything, formatting. So you can focus, and inshallah you can also apply this knowledge when it comes to when you want to work later on. Okay, so I hope it's help you in thesis, and good luck. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.